I was quite surprised that this made it. Udinese versus Empoli. Udinese at -125 against Empoli, who have got maybe 80% of their points this year on the road, and they're +355, but +105 for a draw double chance. The draw is at 270. The under or over is at 2.5, with the over being juiced at -125. Matty, can you give me some meat on the bone, please, for these two sides? Because Udinese are decent at home, but Empoli are better away.
Yeah, and you know what? Empoli on the road this season, we've seen a lot more goals than we have at home. But the over 2.5 only is going to grade out at 40% for this game. Both teams to score is going to grade at 56%. So this is kind of interesting, but I love the head-to-head history. The last 3 games have gone way over 2.5. One of them even had 5 goals. I kind of expect a lot of goals here, but I'm going to play it a little bit safer. I'm actually going to go for the first half over 1. The reason being is because the first half over 1 or the first half over 0.5 grades out at 77%, which is the highest on the entire board. Over 1.5 grades out right at 45%. So I like my chances to not lose. I don't think that play loses. But I am kind of a little bit leery about taking Udinese team total or to win this game.
Yeah, well, let me come in there because you said look, over 2.5 goals in the game as a total is -125, but you're only getting -125 for Udinese to score 2, and for Empoli to score, you're getting -220. That tells me that the line should be 3, because over 2.5, it should be like -145. So I think we're half a goal in front. So, Mina, do you see over 2.5 goals in this game and really just steer clear of the money line, even though the Udinese done you a treat last week?
Yeah, they really did, didn't they? I'll be honest with you, I really wanted the money line for Udinese at home. There hasn't been a win for Empoli since the 15th of December. We know what happened in the transfer market. They lost Samuele Ricci, and I think that's really impacted their ability in attack. And since then, it's just been draws and losses and draws and losses. Their confidence is shot. They do still play very good football. We have seen that when they took on Juventus, when they took on Milan. But unfortunately, it's not converting to anything special like it was before. I mean, there was that brilliant run at one stage from middle of November to middle of December, where it was 5 wins out of 6. So it's been quite impressive, to be honest with you. But now when you look at their form, I think it's an Udinese win. They are at home. They're starting to pick up points. They look clever to me. And I actually think I'd go for the unders in this game. I've seen the fact that, between this, it's been 3 wins for Udinese, 3 wins for Empoli. There have been a lot of games where there's been a lot of goals. But I think Udinese right now have found their defensive rhythm. And I can't see this being one that's going to be... I just can't see Empoli scoring, and I can't see Udinese conceding that many.
Empoli not scoring is +175. I mean, a clean sheet for Udinese obviously then brings in the -125, but +175 just for Empoli not to score brings in that 0-0 as well. Matty, Mina makes a great point, because Empoli, even though the points have not gone their way recently, they still play with more vigour, more belief, more... I don't know, front foot football away from home than they do when they should be playing front foot football at home.
Yeah, I like Empoli's style on the road a little bit more. I think this game does have a good chance to open up, because I think that Empoli thinks they have a shot at actually winning this game, which they really do, I think. But I also think that this is going to be a very tight game, regardless of whether it's 1-0 Empoli or 2-1. Or even 2-0. I don't think this is going to be I think this is going to end up being a tight game, and I actually do like corners for this game as well.
Oh, hello.
Really good head-to-head history on this, and the over 9.5 grades out right at 50%. But situationally, of just how I think the flow of the game will go, I do like the over 10 corners, and I am going to play that this week as well.
So you talk about history. Your history with corners is like second to none. So you're going over 10 corners. Okay, let's have a little look at the official picks then, because we've got this Udinese-Empoli game being end-to-end. Udinese far stronger. Empoli maybe not score, but they will have a go. And obviously over 10 corners in the game. This is not just for Udinese, and that's -115. I believe you've double dipped, though, because you've gone on another one as well. Let's have a little look at the second pick. First half over 1 at -135. So one's a push. You think there might be two. Is this another one of those bets that if you can find it, it's the most goals scored in the game in the first half?
I just think I don't necessarily think that. I just think that this is safer than playing the over 2.5. And it's graded out much higher. It's only lost in 23% of games combined. So I think there's a really high chance not to lose this bet. That's why I think it's a little bit safer than the over 2.5, because Mina could definitely be right about this game.
Okay, I'm just typing in to speak to Astute Chaos because he mentioned something that we've mentioned off air, AC. So can you type that when we come to the Q&A, because that will be something that we definitely want to be talking about. So, okay, so we have two picks from Matty. We've got his over 10 corners at -115. That's a total. And also we've got first half over 1 at -135. So 2 goals in the first half to cash. 1 is for a push.